Hello and welcome back for another instalment of The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's Season 5, Episode 4, and today we've got a double header from two brand new cup competitions, including one of the ones I said I was most excited about this season. But first, let's go and look at the few games since you were last with me. For anyone who's missed the season so far, it's been an absolutely brilliant ride. We've had our introduction to the Champions League and Europa League qualifiers, our first time in this story that we've managed in Europe at all. We've won our first trophy of the series so far with the NIFL Charity Shield against Portadown. We've been very ropey at the start of the league season due to the fixture scheduling, and we've also had a cracking run in the transfer window, with our Director of Football doing yet more business since the last episode. So today we've got 3rd Division Maiden City away in the Bet McLean Cup before a big test against Hibernian under-20s in the Irn Bru Cup, the Scottish Challenge Cup as it used to be known, before all of the British Isles got invited. Because obviously it's FM18, we haven't got the National League clubs from England, but all of the rest of the teams are there, so it's going to be a great competition, and hopefully we'll be able to compete for a title there as well. So the 3 games we've played since we were last here, we played at home to Linfield in the league. We were 2-0 up. After 35 minutes it looked completely comfortable, but we got absolutely outplayed from that point on, and we were lucky to get away with a draw in the end. Then we played our second leg of our Europa League qualifier against Young Boys, who obviously played against Man United in the Champions League just a couple of weeks back. I said Manchester City in the last episode yesterday, as I was recording it just before they were playing their Champions League game. I don't know why I kept saying Manchester City. I had Manchester United written in my notes as well, but there we go. We put up a great fight and won on the night 3-2. Unfortunately, we were out 5-2 on aggregate, but it's a really positive step for the club looking forward. And then we won our first league game at the club against Warren Point, a game that we should have been winning comfortably and did. McManus and Burke, the front two, got the goals between them, and we look relatively comfortable going into these games, and we start to spread out to a maximum of 2 games a week after the next month or so. So hopefully then we'll really start to stamp our authority on this league. Another thing that will help us do that is the 2 transfers we've had since you were last with me, and they are fantastic signings, probably 2 of the best players at the club. Remarkably, we've got another central midfielder called Jarlath, but this one's Miss Kelly. He is a 19-year-old Northern Irish central midfielder. He's a stalwart in the Northern Ireland under-21 international team. He's 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. He can play as the advanced playmaker or the deep lying one in midfield and comes deep to get the ball. So he's going to fit absolutely perfectly into our system, and I think he's going to be fantastic for us. On a free transfer, this is about the best signing I could have wished our Director of Football to bring in. He's got all the key attributes in all the key areas, and he is going to be an absolute stalwart for us. And the second one is no worse, it might even be a little bit better. It's Kevin McMahon, another 19-year-old Northern Irish under-21 starter. He's got 4-star current ability, 5-star potential, and he can play fairly competently in that target man role, alongside either McStravick or McManus or Danny Burke alongside him in the advanced forward role if he prefers. But I mean, just look at the quality. It's such a step up, it's unbelievable. He's a hard worker, he's decent in the air, he's a good finisher, he's fairly quick and strong. He's got absolutely everything we could want, and with those 2 signings, I've suddenly got a lot more confident about competing on a lot of fronts. A fantastic player, and he's going to be making a big impression once he's back from international duty. So they're the 2 signings. Let's get into the first of the 2 games. It should be a fairly easy one against a 3rd Division team in the Cup. The reason I'm showing you, I want to make sure over the season I show a game from every competition. We're obviously in a new country, it's something completely new to me. I've never managed in this country on Football Manager in Northern Ireland, so it's something I really want to show everyone. We've rotated the team almost completely for this match. We've not quite been able to make the full 11 changes due to those under-21 internationals, which we've got 6 of. We got the option to postpone the game, but we should be able to win with what we've got. So we'll get a couple of new people to meet in this one, but other than that, we're completely confident of getting a win in this game. We've got sub-goalkeeper Eamon Gallagher with Chris Johns on international duty. He's 2-star ability, he's okay, but he's only 17 and he's got a chance to play today. He's the only other keeper at the club at the moment. We've got a back 4 of Lyndon Kane, the captain, McKnight, who we wanted to give a game to here, is away on international duty. Doherty at left back and Callagher and Toll in the middle. Stephen Dooley's just back from injury, so he's the one key man that plays for us today, with Ross Clark on the other flank. Macaulay's in the middle again alongside Nicholas Rhodes, who's another youth prospect. Only 1.5-star ability but 4.5-star potential. And up front we've got Jonathan McMurray and Colin Whelan. To put it into perspective, McMurray was first choice when I joined here just 6 weeks ago, and now he's the 4th or 5th choice striker at the club. We've got a couple of the big hitters in Harkin, Burns and Burke on the bench if need be, alongside Luke Conlon and Johnny Taylor. We're going to get into the game. I'll make a few tactical changes on the tactics screen and then we'll come back for the team talk in a minute. Okay, we're into the game. We've given them the team talk to pick up where they left off against Warren Point. They're playing a 4-2-3-1, which is a bit unusual for a 3rd Division Northern Irish team, I'd imagine. But we're completely confident of winning the game, as I don't know why we were shown that highlight of a ball rolling out for a goal kick slowly. I'd like to hope we can assert our dominance as the game goes on. And to be honest, I'm not looking for a huge win. I just want to get a comfortable result under our belts with a reserve team. Dooley gets the cross in early. It's been cleared away, but only as far as Dooley again on the right flank. Gets towards the byline, gets a cross in for Whelan, and his header to the far post is saved. It could have been a case for a penalty according to the commentary at the bottom of the screen, but 20 minutes in we have to settle for 0-0. Quarter of the way through the half, we've got a free kick in with Clark. Gallagher's lost out, but it's fallen to Dooley at the edge. His shot's blocked and it falls to Rhodes. Rhodes is on the right hand side, he's got no support, but thankfully he's fouled and we can get a cross in from a dangerous area again with Dooley. I presume he'll take it. It's not, it's Kane this time. It's gone towards Clark but it's blocked, but Rhodes has been left unmarked, puts it into Whelan, and 6 yards out, 2 men are unmarked and we're able to tap in for a 1-0 lead. The standard of ground is a bit of a step down from what we're used to. It's not quite the same, it's an all-terraced arena, but they're the 3rd Division team in Northern Ireland, so you've got to expect that. But they've played pretty well so far, to be fair. They've not created much, but they've been fairly solid, and we haven't looked like scoring a huge number of goals. So I'm quite impressed with the quality in this league. We've got to address the elephant in the room. As obviously, I know that moving to foreign countries on this game, particularly when you're doing career saves like this, as Rhodes puts a shot wide from the edge of the box, it does often put people off watching, as they create an attack for the first time, which just grabbed my attention because the last thing we want is an equaliser, but we're bringing it away now. Often a few people are put off by the fact that you're not managing in England. McMurray's through on goal and he's put it over. But people are often put off and they do stop watching if you're outside of England. But for me, this is something I really enjoy. And it's the reason I love the head coach series, is you get to go to all different countries and that. We'll still have from FM19 our part of the furniture save, where we're going to be from start to finish with Torquay United from the National League South, trying to take them to the top of the game. So if you're a fan looking for a British series, or an English series I should say, then we'll always have that one alongside. But the head coach has this flexibility. You can end up absolutely anywhere. And obviously on this year's one, because we started in August, just 3 months before the new game, FM19, we're obviously going to have a bit of a chance to move around and do something different to try and get to the top quicker. We've got the ball on the left with Clark, to Whelan on the edge, into Dooley out wide. He crosses it for Whelan and he's put a gilt-edged chance over the bar. He's not looked particularly good, but thankfully he's only our 5th or 6th choice striker, and coming up to the break it's still 1-0. But I have to say, I'm really enjoying managing in this league, all the new competitions, getting to manage in Europe so early on in a career. It's been a really great experience and I'm absolutely loving it. So hopefully you guys are as well. Hopefully all the different competitions and playing against teams from different countries, both in Europe and in the Irn Bru Cup, will also keep you interested as well. We had another shot there, but it's just wide of the post. Let's give the team talk then. It's just a bit of encouragement to carry on and try and get a couple more goals. We've not looked at any risk of conceding, and I doubt they'll have a shot in the match, to be honest. As I said, the big one from last episode, yesterday, was me incorrectly predicting that Young Boys were playing against Manchester City the same evening as I was recording the episode. Obviously a couple of weeks in the past now as we're going live with these episodes. But they did play Manchester United, and to be fair, in real life they were a good surprise as well. They did lose 3-0, but they were really going for it, attacking. They had a lot of pace and power in their team, as Maiden City do have their first shot of the match and put it wide. We were really brilliant against them in the second leg in this game. Obviously I kept it off camera because we were already out of the tie, but we nicked a 3-2 win despite rotating the team a bit towards the end, and we were absolutely fantastic. They did look complacent, and we've got to be fair, they've made 5 or 6 changes themselves, but to get that win's a real confidence booster for me if we are still here next year for probably what will be our last season or 2 of the save. That's about it. I'm a bit bored of McMurray now. We're going to get him off. Whelan will switch into the advanced forward role, which he prefers anyway, and Danny Burke will come on as the target man. We're going to bring on Harkin in the middle of midfield as well. We'll change around roles as we need to. Rhodes can be a defensive central midfielder. He can even support because they're not going to attack much. And Harkin can play as the box-to-box midfielder as he prefers. We'll also bring Dooley off shortly, but we'll give him 10 more minutes. I think the pre-match fitness report said 75 minutes, so we want to get him close to that. We need to get him fit. We haven't got the other game against Hibs for 8 days, and we need him to be in form for that one. Clark's corner's cleared away long, and Doherty will mop up on halfway. Hits it forward to Harkin. Gallagher's got it in the middle. We've got so much time and space, and his ball over the top's absolutely appalling. And we're still 1-0 up, but we can't get that breakthrough in this half for the second goal. They've given it away again. We look a yard quicker everywhere. Whelan finds Harkin. The subs have got a different intensity about them, but I don't know why Harkin's shooting from there when he could have slipped either of the strikers in. A big long clearance from Maiden City up to Gallagher gives it way. Back to Clark. Rhodes has got it in the middle. He's been quite impressive, the young lad, but obviously we're playing against the lower level opposition. We can't really judge him too much on this. Dooley with a cross to the back post to Burke, and his header goes just over the bar. Another goal kick for Maiden City, and I'm sure it'll be coming straight back at them again. Doherty at left back to Clark. Big long ball up to Whelan. It's been intercepted well and back to the keeper by Maiden City. They're going to clear it long, but surely again it will just come straight back. They've got no one up there to hold it up. We've got it with our keeper and we're just building it out from the back now. Gallagher with the long ball up. Burke flicks on. Whelan's got a chance to make it, but the keeper gets there first. It's a never-ending highlight as we just keep attacking relentlessly. Kane to Dooley. I'm a bit worried about how naive we've been in front of goal, but we are missing our star strikers as Burke heads just wide. We're missing McStravick, we're missing McManus, and we've got the new signing, obviously, McMahon to come in as well. All the Mucks are there, and with 70 minutes gone, we will make that change for Dooley now. We'll swap Clark out to the right as he prefers, and bring Aaron Burns on the left-hand side, where he normally starts for us as first choice. 15 minutes to go, we've got a throw-in on the left with Doherty. Burke's got it back to him again. He crosses it in. He's headed to the edge, only as far as Harkin. A great sliding challenge on him, and they clear away. And for once, they hold it up there. Play it back to the right back, but they've given it away with a sloppy pass. Rhodes can bring it forward in the middle to Harkin. He's got two men up front if he can find them. He finds Whelan on the edge, out wide to Clark. Cross into the box. The keeper misses it and it hits the bar. We see that so much on this game where the crosses hit the bar or are tipped away by the keeper. As a corner hits the bar this time, we have it headed off the line and it's been cleared long away, but only as far as Doherty, and the highlight ends. A throw in on the right this time. It's relentless pressure now. The ball in towards Burke. He wins the header and it's into the bottom corner. Bottom right hand corner for Burke, and we're 2-0 up, and finally the game's over. They've put up a good fight defensively, have Maiden City, but there's only ever been one winner in this game, as they haven't even had a shot on target. Kane's got it again in the right back area, and hopefully as they run out of fitness towards the end, we can get a confidence boosting win by getting 3 or 4 towards the end of the game. Burke's won the header that time, but he's given it away, and now they're coming forward. They've got a chance to get a shot on goal, but they go backwards again, and they're just keeping possession in the middle. Maybe they're content with 2-0, but they give it away, and Kane can bring it forward now. Big long ball over the top. Burke's in behind if he can finish. Would boost his confidence if he scores again, but he doesn't. He hits the post. It was an absolute sitter, as the commentary says. Very hard to see the commentary, and this yellow with white text, I've got to say, is very bright and very hard to distinguish between them. But a couple of minutes to go, and we're going to win this one comfortably, and we're happy with the result, if nothing else. There we go then, a few seconds left. We're camped down by their corner flag. We're more than happy with that result, a comfortable win, and we never looked in any danger in that one. We're pleased with the efforts, we'll keep the confidence up. That's 3 wins on the bounce now with the second leg against Young Boys, the Warren Point League game, and this one here, heading into the Hibs under-20 game, where I've got no idea what to expect and what sort of team they're going to be able to field with their under-20s. But we'll be back for that one in a minute to find out. Okay, we're back for the second of today's double header in another new competition, the Irn Bru Cup. What was formerly the Scottish Challenge Cup, which has now incorporated teams from all across the British Isles and the Republic of Ireland, as well as teams from the top tier of Scotland's under-20s, a bit like the Checkatrade Trophy over in England. So we're playing Hibs under-20s today. They're the favourites for the game. They've got some cracking players in their under-20s. They've got a player who's already pre-agreed a contract with Manchester City for January, and he's good enough to make it there, let me tell you that. And they've got a couple of players from their first team who could play if the manager chooses, who are very good and far above and beyond whatever we've got. We've still got McStravick out injured, and our new striker as well, Kevin McMahon, picked up a concussion on international duty a couple of days ago, so he's not available either. Neil McKnight, one of the other under-21 internationals, has come back completely knackered, and Ralph Cottle is not back at all yet. So we've got one debutant in central midfield, as you can see, but our team other than that is as close to full strength as we can make it. We've got Chris Johns in goal, Kane and Conlon the fullbacks, with McManus and McElhenney in the middle, Dooley and Burns on the 2 wings, Jarlath Miskelly in central midfield, the new player in that deep line playmaker role, alongside Kieran Harkin as always, and McManus and Burke, the deadly duo up front together, with 16 goals between them already this season, as the other two are both injured, as we've just said. Now let's get straight into it. 7 subs, so we've got almost everyone on the bench. We've got to give Miss Kelly a number, so we'll give him a fairly decent one. 14 will do. I don't want to give 11. 11's a winger's number. Okay, Hibs are playing a 4-4-2. That Anderson in central midfield who's been highlighted there for Hibs. He's the one who's pre-agreed a contract with Manchester City, and he's going to very much be the man to watch today. And I imagine he's going to cause us problems. We're playing our classic European standard structured mentality with be more disciplined as an instruction on, just to try and keep our shape, as Hibs are quite heavy favourites for this game, as we've seen already. They're in behind early doors, but it's offside, thankfully. We've got the free kick and we carry on straight away. Hopefully this is going to be an action-packed game then. Dooley finds Harkin. Harkin down the right to McManus. The challenge is made and it's going to be cleared away. Oh, I don't know what they're doing at the back there. They've given it away to Miss Kelly, the debutant. He finds Harkin in the middle. We've got the 2 up front. If he can find McManus, who turns, shoots, and we've scored within a minute. Kieran Harkin with the assist, Michael McManus with the goal, and we're 1-0 up in a competition I'm so desperate to do well in. I'd quite happily sacrifice winning the league if I can win this competition, because from a personal point of view it's the one I'm most looking forward to. I've spoken about it before with my colleagues on the Honest Football podcast. We've spoken about this competition. It's a really great thing for clubs in Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, the Republic of Ireland, and now the National League in England as well. You can see they've got all the advertising, including the Irn Bru on the advertising hoardings around the ground there, as we get another free kick in as heads away, and Dooley from the edge of the box shoots, but it's high and very wild, that one. 10 minutes in and we look completely confident here. We've started really well. We haven't seen much from Hibs at all yet. The one good thing I would say is that Anderson in the middle for them, the key man we highlighted, he's got awful fitness. Maybe he'd been playing in the first team or in international duty, and that's certainly helped us so far. We're coming up to the half-hour mark and Hibs are creating their first meaningful attack, but we've won it back. Conlon to Burns, and we don't want to mess around with it there. Burns clears it long and Harkin can bring it forward. McManus has got it. He's held it up quite well. He's tried to find Burke, but that's an awful pass and he gives it away. And now Hibs can counter us for just about the first time in this match. It says we'll have 3 shots each and Hibs have had a clear-cut chance, but we haven't seen it. The ball's been intercepted by Burns in the left-back area, and we're bringing it away with Miss Kelly. Comes deep to get the ball. Look at that pass. He's put Danny Birkin on a plate, beats his man, and is tipped wide by the keeper for Hibs. It was excellent play, but what a pass by the new signing, Miss Kelly in central midfield. That's what we're looking for from him. And I've got to say, as the corner comes in, it's cleared away out to Dooley. Finds Harkin in the middle, tries to place it in the top corner, but it's gone wide, and McElhenney attacked it and was offside. I've got to say, I'm so impressed with the quality that not only was at the club already, because I would have assumed that winning the league 3 years in a row, but the young Northern Irish talent that's been brought in by our director of football, and the ones that were available on a free transfer. I mean, Miss Kelly McMahon, who we've mentioned, as McManus is in again, and he puts it in the bottom corner, and both of our goals have come from horrific errors at the back by this young Hibernian team. But as I was saying, the director of football, the players we managed to get in, the central defender, Conor McManus, the centre forward McMahon, and the other central midfielder we've just brought in, Miss Kelly, all 3 of them were available as free agents, and I don't know if it's just because they were at lower Northern Irish clubs, they didn't sign contracts and there wasn't enough of a reputation to take them elsewhere, which has been a problem in this game before for players from smaller leagues, but we're the beneficiaries of it as McManus turns and shoots again, and it's saved, and it's coming up to half time. I'll take him off. We're taking no chances with him in the second half, especially as we've already got 2 strikers out injured for a few more weeks. But there is the half-time whistle. We're 2-0 up. We've got nothing but praise from that performance. It's a bit like the Maribor game, really. There's nothing I could have expected less than to be 2-0 up and completely confident. We're going to bring McMurray on up front. We always try to give our own talent the games rather than the lone players. We want to benefit our players at the club and improve our reputation. And they're the ones that are going to be with us next season if we're still here then. And Whelan's not much better than McMurray, to be honest. They've got the ball on the right and it's cleared away. But bringing it forward, they're giving it away. They're very sloppy. I wasn't expecting this. I thought they'd be quite good technically, like a lot of the bigger young sides, and just maybe lose a bit mentally as we put a free kick wide. But they've been really poor technically. They've made 2 awful mistakes at the back. They've given the ball away so many times, and it's been a really easy game for us. I'd argue they've put up less of a fight than Maiden City did in the last game. But we're well past the hour mark now. We're going to think about substitutions. There's not much going on at all. They haven't had any attacks. We're keeping the ball confidently at times. And even when they're having it, they're just giving it away on the edge. It's so helpful that Anderson isn't fit because he is such a key player for them. But surely he's going to have to come off soon. we're going to make a couple of changes ourselves. Burns is having a poor game. He did have a good game against Warren Point, but apart from that, he's been awful. And I'm also going to bring off Jarlath Miss Kelly shortly because he's struggling for fitness. It's his first game. He's just come back from international duty and wasn't quite fit, and not being match fit hasn't helped either. So we'll give him 5 more minutes and then we'll take him off as well. But we've only got a young player to bring in central midfield, so we don't want to do it too early. As Anderson, their danger man, has a shot again from the edge, but it's high and it's not dangerous at all. They've got a throw in on the right. They're starting to assert a bit of pressure now. They've got it on the edge. They've got a bit of space. I don't know if that is because Miss Kelly's getting tired now. They've had another shot with Anderson, and that one's a lot closer, but it's still over the bar. And after this attack, we will make the change because they're getting right on top now. And you can see it's that central midfield region. And Johns has made a great save to get me out of jail after not making a substitute earlier. We're going to bring on Nicholas Rhodes like the last game. We're going to swap the 2 midfielders. Harkin will just sit in that deep lying playmaker role, and Nicholas Rhodes is going to swap to the ball-winning midfielder, and hopefully he won't get sent off 100 times like Mitch Brundle did at Dover in the last 3 years. The sub's been made and we've not been shown that corner, so I'm guessing it led to nothing, and a couple of minutes later we're still comfortable at 2-0. I couldn't have asked for much more than this game as we come forward again. Harkin to the substitute Rhodes. A lovely ball for Burke. McMurray onto the right-hand side to Dooley. Crosses for Burke. Lovely first-time effort, and tipped wide by Robertson, who has had a decent game in goal for Hibs, to be fair. We've got the corner coming in with Clark this time. Beaten at the front post by McElhenney. He's beaten to it and it's headed away, but he's got there on the edge of the box. Finds Rhodes, who gives it away, but he's been fouled in the process. Hibs are coming forward now with a rare attack. They've had another wild shot from the edge, and this time it is on target, but Chris Johns can deal with that comfortably. A fantastic performance all round, and I'm so looking forward to getting a long way into this competition. We've already had the draw for if we get through, which it looks like we obviously will now going into stoppage time. We've got Aberdeen under 20s away from home, which is a bit of a pain. I wanted to play a first team side, but if we can avoid the big ones, like Dundalk from the Republic of Ireland, we'll be completely happy to move forward in this competition. The easier games we can get, and I'm looking forward to playing more under 20 sides after that performance. The further we can get into the competition and the better we can do. If we go and have a quick look at what they've said about the game, we need to check this McManus injury. It's just a few days. I would say that's not too bad normally, but if we go and look at the schedule, we've got another mad week coming up. So we've got a game away to Larne, the professional side that we nearly joined the previous summer, on Saturday in 3 days' time. Then 3 days after that, we're at home to Glentoran. Then 2 days after that, we're at home to Glenarvan. And 2 days after that, we're away to Ballymena United, before 3 days later we play Crusaders at home, who are the current champions in real life. It's an action-packed month coming up, but we're going to skip a few games now. We want to get this season over and done with quickly now. We've just got league action to focus on for a while, so we can get another season or two in afterwards before FM19. So we're going to come back in a couple of months' time for that Aberdeen under-20s game in the next round of the Irn Bru Cup, as that is one of my priorities for this season. And we'll make it a double-header with a league game against either Glenarvan or whatever game ends up being next to it, because I know there's going to be a lot of rearrangements for the international break at the time. But that is it from this episode. If you have enjoyed it and you are enjoying my stint in Northern Ireland with all these new different competitions, please add a thumbs up on the video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel for regular Football Manager content from this head coach series every Monday to Thursday at 4:30 PM until the release of FM19, as well as a new video from FIFA 19 every Friday at exactly the same time. A massive thanks for watching as always. It's greatly appreciated, and we'll see you next time.